how long did it take you guys to start really liking your music and thinking that it was good?
It definitely was not immediately though. It was like years. I mean, when like me and Lucas first started working together, I would not have said that I like liked my own music. I've put music up and taken it down millions of times. There's things, and I can say like, oh yeah, I do like the music that's up and songs I make. There's other songs where I'm like, I should quit. Like I'll be listening to it, and I'm like, I should quit.
I've always, at one point, loved the songs that I'm putting out. I'm making it in the way I want to. Like, I wasn't really comparing myself to anybody else.
All right, welcome back to the show. Today we have, a pair of people whose opinions of each other, positive opinions of each other, maybe are greatly exaggerated. In fact, they are not friends. How are you
We
guys
are not
doing?
friends.
How are you
We're
guys doing today?
great.
Just coworkers.
Yeah. No, we're certainly not friends, and we can say that for a fact. So thank
I'm
you for having us.
oh who you are.
Absolutely. I just wanted to make it clear to the audience the situation.
Appreciate that.
Awesome. Um, so let's just jump into it. You guys are a music group, and you have some music out right now, two songs. Why don't you tell me a little bit about them?
I'll start. Yeah, we got two songs out right now. The I'll start with the first one, which is I gotta open it up.
Oh, the first one's Peace of Mind.
Yeah,
Peace of
into and peace
mind.
of mind.
Yep. So Into and Peace of Mind, two songs. I feel I don't really know how to segue, but
I
It's all right.
I talk about them.
yeah, we have two songs out.
We have two songs.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, the Peace of Mind was the first one that we wrote in one night in
Yes.
this beach house.
Mhm.
Spur of the
This is
moment.
the beach house.
That was the birth of this group that we're in, that we're
Yeah,
forced to be in.
yeah.
But we wanted to finish. We were making this song, and we were like, let's just put it out. Let's just start something, and we brainstormed for like an hour what the name could be, and then put the song out.
Yeah,
So
literally
that's Peace of
probably an
Mind.
hour. It was probably an hour of thinking about it.
That's a
And
theme. That will be a theme across
yeah, no think,
us.
head empty. Um,
Okay.
yeah. I feel like we just like wrote the song and my whole thing was like, oh, let's not be like so particular about like the day it comes out and how far in advance it comes out and the cover art and this and that and like just like actually stop thinking so like hard. And then yeah, we released that song like that night.
In a night. Okay.
And,
Mhm.
At a beach house. Why don't you give me a little background on how you even got into the scenario where I'm writing a song or I plan to write a song in an hour?
Uh, well, the song wasn't in an hour. I will clarify that. The brainstorming for the what our group could be called was an hour.
Okay, okay.
Um, I think we probably spent about 5 hours, 5 or 6 hours together, writing the song, coming up with the concept, and Carissa playing the guitar, and I was leading on the production. But once we had it down, it sounded great, and making a song, we both produce our own solo projects, and when a song feels finished, when you finish a song, it's like you're bracing for so much longer, like this all this time for the song to just feel finished, or for you to think again later down the line, it's not done, I got to do something else. So we felt like it was finished, and that's why uh that's how kind of how this whole project was born. And we
That,
just
that's
wanted to just put out cool stuff without thinking about it again.
yeah, fair enough.
without
I
any
definitely
pressure, I guess.
heard the opinion, or at least the experience, that determining when something is finished, always having another step to go, and then maybe a month later the song is doesn't even sound like it did at the beginning. Um, so your approach to that was just I want to put it out.
Yep.
I personally feel like I do the best when a song is like finished or nearly finished in one night or one session of working on it. And I feel like I personally can like tell within one session if it's like gonna be finished soon or not, even if it is not finished in that one night. And I don't know, I feel like the best stuff that like you and I have done or like me on my own or whatever, it's like always just like within that one however long that one session is of writing and recording and producing because it's like all the emotion that's happening right there and all the vibes. It's
Hmm.
just all happening like in the moment. And sometimes when you go back later and like try to record vocals again or something, I feel almost like I can't get into whatever headspace I was in then. So yeah.
Yeah, it's about capturing the magic.
Mm-hmm.
So once, yeah, when you really think about it that way, and when we could set aside a little bit of time here and there to capture some magic and not not put too much pressure on, we kind of roll with it.
You both have backgrounds in music. How long have you been playing, recording?
I've been making like producing my own music since like seriously since COVID. So I guess like what that's around 5 years now. But I grew up like my mom's a piano teacher, my dad was in bands and played guitar and stuff. So I've always grown up like playing piano and guitar and singing and stuff.
But you were producing before COVID, like before COVID. You had some stuff.
Call it that. I had some stuff. It wasn't like I feel
You
like
track?
I didn't take it seriously. Or like it was like really really just for fun. And I had some bands. I had some like little like surf rock bands that I was like trying to put together pre-COVID. So I think I started like I wrote maybe my first song and like produced my first song in 2018, so like 2 years prior. Yeah.
Is
And
that
then me,
still?
oh, sorry, you go.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask if it was started with guitar or if it was on the production side.
Definitely I would say with guitar because I didn't really have I have like a trial and error background with like learning how to produce. Like it's just self-taught for the most part. So
Hmm.
like it really just started with like GarageBand for me and like literally not knowing what I was doing but like messing around with dials and plugins and whatever I could do to make it sound like something more than an acoustic guitar. Yeah.
Yeah, Lucas, you were gonna chime in.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, I started as a kid, as a young one, playing piano, and I actually, unlike Chris, I like don't come from a musical background at all. My family loves music, but only my great aunts and my grandmothers played piano, but not really while I was growing up. So, I started playing piano as a kid. I like took lessons and all that, and then in middle school started messing around making rap songs, just having fun with it. Went into like was taking it more seriously as a hobby into high school, and then college I studied recording in at UMass Lowell, and kind of mixed it all together, and voila, started becoming an artist towards the end of that, at the end of college, singing and teaching myself how to sing and mixing that with the production and all that. So that's oh, and I feel like that's a good segue to how we met. You want to know that?
True. True.
Absolutely.
It's a
True.
crazy story.
It's
Uh,
wild.
just the least wild story. You do it.
Wait, you want me to say? Okay, well,
Yeah.
okay. Um, well, when I was a wee little 18-year-old girly pop, I was just like a fan of going to shows, obviously, and I went to concerts all the time. Um, and I wound up at the Middle East upstairs when this band that Lucas was playing in, they were called Daisy Bones. They were playing, and I basically fangirled really hard. Like I was like, this is the best band I've ever seen in my life. And then I
And
was
I don't
like,
think you even said hi to us either.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think I talked to maybe one or two of you. I remember maybe it was that show or a different show. I ended up just following them around for shows all the time and like totally being like a fangirl trying to to disguise it and be so chill. And I don't know how it came off, but I
I
ended up
didn't even know you were there. Like you were
well,
so quiet.
I was
Like,
tweaking. I can tell I was tweaking. I was like, I was like, oh, it's
okay.
the band. I love them so much. Um, but just over time, like going to their shows and stuff and getting to know them and being also slowly kind of making my way in the same like music scene, I guess. We all became friends. So then that was how
Well,
we
we played a
met.
show on the same bill,
Oh yeah, you're right. We
and
played a show together, and that's when me and you officially like spoke.
yes, because being a producer, and I was really trying to meet artists, people that made their own music, like I was doing at the time. Um, and so I had heard Carissa's little solo project, and it was on SoundCloud.
Band that I was playing with. It was like I
No,
was
I
in a
heard your
band,
produced stuff.
right? But then we met because at the show that I was playing with a separate band,
Yes,
right?
and I approached you and said like, "Hey, do
Right.
you want to work on music sometime or record?"
Yeah.
So, that's how we met. And then further down the line, recorded some tracks for her solo project, and the rest is history. We just have collaborated ever since.
Pretty much hit it off from the beginning. Once the official communication started.
Yeah, yeah.
Once I got over the fangirl phase, I was just like, like when we did first like talk, I was like, oh, OMG, OMG, the keyboard player of Daisy Bones. I'm
No
famous.
one's ever excited to meet the keyboard player.
I was like it was like everything I listened to, like for basically whatever a year and a half before we really spoke. Like it was like my favorite band, so it was like meeting the people in your favorite band, even if they're not like the most famous band ever. It feels like
We were not.
well, I was like yeah, freaking out. I went
How
home to
long
my
ago
mom and I
was
was like,
this?
Mom, you'll never guess what happened.
This was probably
19.
28, 19, right before COVID. No, it was 18. It was definitely 2018.
No, I think it was 19.
We had
It was
that year, and then COVID started because we recorded your EP pretty close to like the winter, I think, of COVID.
yeah, I was pretty
I
sure.
think
Honestly, I don't know. Time is fake. So
Fair enough.
time is
How do you
fake.
guys how do you guys find it I imagine your individual styles are different. How do you find it coming together and collaborating and mixing them into a piece in a day? It sounds like
I feel like at first, like it was a very seamless uh, collaboration. I don't know. It's like our stuff didn't sound like Lucas's other music or my other music, but it kind of did. But it also sounded like its own thing, and I feel like it's always just been that way since the first song we collaborated on.
Yeah, it's not. I don't find it super common to have similar tastes as like really similar tastes as another person you're working with, another collaborator. There's usually a lot of overlap, but I think we just agree on a lot of music. We think a lot of the same things are cool, and it just somehow works out that when we come together to write a song, we know exactly what styles we want to mash together and how, and then we just bounce ideas off each other. That's really all it is.
Yeah, I guess like whatever we both hear in our heads for like where a song should go matches without even saying it. I
Yeah,
guess that's the best way to put it.
a little bit of music magic.
Yeah, for real.
cool. Would you say the same is for your sense of humor? I've seen some of these Instagram
Yeah,
posts,
yeah.
and
No, wait, you say no? No, wait, we're not friends.
No,
You don't like me.
well,
well, professional sense of humor.
yeah, professional sense of humor.
It's very similar. I
Yeah,
that's what I think.
unfortunately, so yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's too bad.
Unfortunately.
Who do you guys think of as your major inspirations?
Good start. I read this question and I was like, "Ugh."
Uh,
Or I mean, do you even think about other music when you're creating? You know, some people like to completely isolate and whatever comes to them comes to them.
I I love to um I especially love to pick things out of my past, like the music that I grew up listening to. Say for some of the songs that we've done. For instance, we pulled out Frou Frou, which is a group with Imogen Heap and a producer who I'm just gonna say the name because I forget it. Uh, Guy Sigsworth or Guy Sigsworth, and so they made some songs that intersected on this techno thing, but they're still pop, and but they're a little weird. I just love going back and hearing a song that I thought was cool as a kid, and then analyzing it and figuring out why I thought it was cool, and then breaking it down. That's I do that with new and old songs, but for this project, we tend to go further back in time on that stuff. But I'll say my biggest inspirations, to name just a few: Mac Miller, Billy Joel, Radiohead, and there's a lot of others, but I'm just going to leave those there.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the Radiohead is where you and I really overlap. Like whatever, like that genre and adjacent to that, like is where our music tastes overlap. But personally, when I'm writing songs, I don't think too much about, I don't know, pulling from any like inspiration as much. Um, if anything, I like void myself of music. Like when I'm like really trying to write something, I'll be like, I'm not listening to music today, and then I'll write a
It's
song.
interesting.
Yeah,
Isolate
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
I get that. Real quick on Radiohead, what's your favorite album?
I mean, OK Computer.
I'm a kid A boy. I'm a kid A boy. The opening song to Kid A, like changed something within me.
Today has everything in its right place. Is
That's
that
the
right?
opening song. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a great song.
just very very cool way to start an album. And I that was around the time I was getting interested in like speaker systems and collecting old but still working speakers, and I would set up like a big thing in my room and then just play songs, and that when I got that CD I like became different, I think.
That changed
I
music.
changed.
Became
Yeah,
nice. Yeah, yeah. I think my favorite album by them is The Bends, but
nice.
it's okay to disagree.
A little more, yeah, well, we all have a different favorite. Look at that.
Yeah.
Get it?
Going
I'm the
back,
basic one. I get it.
um, Lucas, you mentioned your more uh like your background in music regarding going to school for it and stuff. How do you think that more structured um way of coming, or I guess learning about music has influenced, you know, your art form?
Great question. I think there's there's a really healthy balance that I think I've found for myself between rules and no rules. Learning all the rules to break them, I think, is a great strategy, and I tend to use that as much as I can. I do feel inferior in terms of knowledge of music theory and stuff like that. There's a lot of it that I wish I was more advanced on, but there's almost two roads I find that you can take, and it's like you're either the rule follower or um you're making good music. So not like it. I think anytime I found myself breaking the rules and being letting go of the concepts, the this has to be this way, it still bounces around in my brain, like the theory mind or the, oh, but this kind of chord doesn't go into that chord. But being able to let it go is a superpower. And it's to be used. But yeah, I'm glad that I had learned have learned so much and over my years of playing piano, and I'm excited that I can have that conversation in my head to decide whether or not to utilize those skills.
Yeah, learning the rules to break them.
Yeah.
Chris, you said you also had some more formal uh, growth and training in music, right? How about you?
Like I had like the formal piano training and everything. Um, and I feel like that just gave me like a solid enough base for things like theory that it's just like kind of second nature and I know what's maybe like right to do or whatever in the music language. And then that gives me the ability to just like I don't know, like hear what I want to do and know how to do it, but not feel so locked in because I'm not like a theory god. You know what I mean? Like I do not know everything. I probably don't remember half of it. It would take me like 10 years to try and do theory right now. But like this like the long-standing like knowledge of it in some way helps. It definitely
Well,
helps.
it like
Um,
becomes innate, right? Like you
yeah,
feel
yeah.
it. You can
Like you're not
start to feel
thinking
it.
about it. But obviously, I don't think it would be the same if I never learned like how to play the piano. But when it comes to things like the guitar, like I learned like theory for like playing the piano. So when I play the guitar, I don't know really what I'm doing. I've been playing it long enough that I can visually kind of understand like, you know, what goes where and what sounds good together, whatever. But like trying to put theory to like the guitar doesn't make sense. Half the time I play a chord, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what that is. People were asking on TikTok about this like Super 8 song. They're like, what chords are those? I was like, I could not tell you. I have no idea.
It's A and E, by the way.
Okay, thank you. But it's also like, is it? Because like,
It's A7, E7,
okay,
some
there's like
combination.
some stuff going on. It's just it's not just like straight up A and E or whatever or F, whatever. Yeah, I don't know, whatever it is.
They'll
Maybe
figure it
it's
out.
Which song
something
was that?
for the
Super
What are
8.
you
unread
referencing?
song.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the folks were asking. Like someone also asked if it was standard tuning, which I thought was funny because it's so like maybe it's diminished or maybe it's augmented or maybe it's there's something going on, but it's not just like a straight E or a straight like A, and it has some like weird dissonance going on. So I thought it was a alternate tuning, and that was like the best compliment ever.
Is it not? I thought you tuned your guitar really weird.
No, I tuned my guitar like
Normal?
totally
Like
standard. I just
normie?
have the capo on it, but
Wow.
that keeps it standard. It's
Could have
literally
fooled me.
what. Ha. That's why I was like a little bit of the when someone said, "Ho is you modern baseball?" I was like, "Yes," but no, because I don't know how to do the tuning.
We'll figure it out. It's just
Yeah,
notes.
yeah.
What going back to take a break from Super 8 for a little bit because I know it's not out yet. Going back
Hmm.
to your other two songs, what initially made you want to release music as this group? I guess in a less. It sounds like you've attached less stress to the project. Is that fair?
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly why for me,
Yeah.
I I don't feel stressed by like other music endeavors, but there's definitely there's more layers to get through before I can like put out a song or more people that have to approve it in a way or like whatever it is, but or maybe just, you know, there's a specific sound that I feel like if I'm producing my own music, I like get locked into that and I can't get out of it. So I wanted something that was just like very lax and like you can do whatever you want and there's no pressure.
Yeah, I had just come off of releasing an album for my solo project, and for me, like it was an independent release, and there was a lot of stuff that I wanted to do. I succeeded, I got through some of the goals that I set, which was awesome, but it was a ton of work, and I think in that moment, uh, definitely for me, it was like let's just let's just do something else, let's do something else, and just not think about it, just throw it out there and even throughout making music, throughout this kind of career, it's almost like a running joke amongst everybody that when you make a cool song that's a little different, you say like we should start a side project, like we should start something on the side. And I think we just wanted to take advantage of that and actually do it because you don't see it too often. People collab, they make songs together, they influence each other, but it is a little bit of an extra step to just make a new account and actually put some backing into it, whether it's just sharing it or telling people about it, or committing to the bit. So we just wanted to commit to the bit a little bit.
True.
Yeah.
I feel
Do it
like
for your
being online
success.
all the time, like, there's, I don't know, my For You page is just full of, like, strategic ways to release your music and da da da. And I'm
Mhm.
like, I don't care. Like, I don't want to hear that anymore. I don't, like, I literally don't care. Like, I'm almost like, I feel like that's not going to work now because everyone's doing this. The algorithm has detected it and it's not working. So let's just, can we please just release it, like, without thinking? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of come as a. Would you say it's more cathartic coming together and making the project? I know a lot of times for solo projects, you can have a very specific thing that you're trying to accomplish, and um, and way you want to present it, and that can be, for better or worse, very involved. So coming together, playing some music for fun, is that is do you have a preference now that you've released some stuff together? I know you've both been in bands, but in this project in particular.
I kind of like having both, like, avenues. Like I like having the one project where I'm like, all right, this has a look or like this has a an aesthetic going on and a certain vibe that I have to talk text this way when I post things and I built whatever persona I have like with that. But then I like having this like more like just kind of free range, like I can just be goofy and like be myself or post whatever I want and not think so hard about the wording of my caption and like whatever.
Hmm.
Not to get too like into it or too cerebral about it, but uh, like a director, a movie director, right? They direct a film, and that film is a world, and their name's attached to it. And if they have a good reputation, you know it's going to be good, but you don't exactly know how it's going to end up or what it's going to feel like watching it. I think being a musical artist, there's a lot of emphasis on being the artist who makes this music, and you get driven into a lane, I think, because celebrity is so popular today. Everyone wants an influencer, everybody wants a celebrity. A lot of people want to be that. But to think of music as art and stories and little worlds that you can build, it's really endless the amount of times you can shapeshift and try something else and start a new group, make this album, start a band, do this. I think we both share that sentiment of just wanting to make music and not necessarily just be this one person who makes this type of music and is famous. Like we just want to make music, and so this was our first venture out, I think, into new stuff and a new style. And who cares if anyone can tie it back to our original projects or our whatever.
Do you think that gaining traction or the potential of gaining traction, um, has the potential to infringe on that in some way?
Possibly. You never know.
Okay, yeah, I guess you never know
I think,
about it yet, so I'm like I'm if we're gaining traction doing what we're doing, then I'm just gonna keep doing what we're doing.
yeah,
I feel
I think people will respond to the music that they like, and if things gain traction and those, as long as I think we're honest and open about our purpose in music and what we intend on doing, I think anybody would be along for the ride if they really like the music. And if we go somewhere else, or if we dive back into the solo projects, whatever, as long as we're keeping our heads on straight and making music that we think is good, I think the taste translates, if anyone agrees. So.
This question might sound a little vague, but what is your what is your motivation for releasing your music? Like separate from making it, but wanting to put it out into the world.
A little bit of it is because it's art. I think if you don't release it, you're just it's a little more self-serving. Like making music, I think is self-serving in a way, but it's also an expression. So to express, you can't just express things to yourself all the time. You'll go crazy. And there's also this hope to for me, to make a career out of it. And I know you share the same feeling,
Yeah.
Carissa. So to be able to express oneself in a way that brings back like things for yourself and friends and family, and you're still giving, you have this relationship with fans, with followers, whatever it is. Finding that balance where things are working for you and they're working for them and they're working for the people in your life, like all based off of the way you express yourself through your talent or voice, whatever it is.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree with
That's
that.
it.
Well, like, yeah, I'm like, I obviously like, there's the whole dream of like being a musician full time and like having that be the thing. But at the root of it, for me, it's just that I like want to be able to listen to the music I make on Spotify because it makes my brain go burr. And I think, I think, like now I've heard it maybe makes at least one other person's go burr. Um, but like I want it in my like playlist like that to be honest. Like I just don't want to have to open up like my notes app to play my music. I just want it on shuffle.
That reminds me that uh, I've I feel very strongly that making music, the ability to produce, this is not specific to producers, but being a self-produced artist, you can sit down and just make the song that you've wanted to hear. You can put the pieces together and you can figure something out, and it is really like creating something that doesn't exist yet. If you can do that, I can do that for myself, and so that sharing that after the fact is almost like, well, this is pretty cool.
Yeah,
This didn't exist yesterday. I hope you like it.
right. It's like
It's a
all the
little
songs
superpower.
that like we like make. It's like that'll be my like obsession song for like a week, even if it's not out or whatever. But it's like when you find a new song and you're like obsess over it for a while and then you kind of hate it after. That like kind of happens with like stuff that I create too. Cause I'm like I'll finish the whole song and I'll be like, holy shit, this is like the best thing I've ever heard. And then it's my favorite song for a week or a month, and then I move on. So
Same.
same.
Yeah, awesome. I think I definitely get the idea of having your music you like up on Spotify, so you don't have to pull out your notes app, or if you want to show somebody, it's not like, oh yeah, let me email you with the
Yeah, my
MP3.
demo like or my track that's like hidden. Like let me try and find it. Like it's on Spotify, and then like it's there in the case that someone finds it and likes it, and then it's like you're doing something for everyone else. I don't know.
Just to change the topic a little bit, I'm curious how you guys feel about this whole like new AI music stuff that's going around.
Funny you bring that up. Um, it
Is
was
it?
well for me because in my band group chat today, my drummer was like, "Oh, how do you feel about this AI stuff?" And I did not listen to it yet, so I don't have a lot of thoughts. But I don't,
Cool.
I don't think I personally, I don't know. I don't like AI. I don't think it's like it's good for music. I don't want it to be like writing songs, but I do think it's funny when it makes Patrick Star sing like "My Heart Will Go On."
See ya.
You know what I mean? Yeah, Patrick Star is singing "Chandelier." Like,
Yeah, there's definitely plenty of room for memes in that
yeah,
regard.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it's very cool. But I mean, you can actually pull something that never existed out of thin air in a matter of seconds, which is bizarre. Uh, I it is definitely there's a moral border or line to cross with the fact that it does scrub all this music, possibly including ours, depending on what agreements or terms that we've signed in the blink of an eye, are any of our art that we've worked hard to make and that we own, um, could just be used to make a joke song or someone's, I don't know, like a song that someone sells. I hate the idea of all this. There's a lot of AI music being uploaded to Spotify now to pad streams or just make revenue. It's like a new drop shipping trend type thing. Uh, it's just it's such a dumb way to make money. It obviously makes somebody money, but it lacks creativity, and I don't ever want to talk to people who do that. Like, stay away from me. Like, you're probably so boring.
Brain, smooth brain.
All my friends write music and make things and want to do something, and like you just finding a weird way to make money. I'm
I
not
mean,
really for it.
Don't like it.
all right, I got you. I would agree with a lot of that. You know, there's definitely a moral dilemma there as to, um, especially financially taking away from the living of artists who either would have gotten those streams or maybe the music was based off in however the way that AI works, right?
Yeah.
Um, but to play devil's advocate, it's a creative way to make money. I wouldn't have thought of that 10 years ago to
That's very true.
ask ChatGPT to make me a banger and then post it
Well,
on Spotify.
I mean, we wouldn't have gotten BBL Drizzy, you know, if we
That's
didn't
true.
have AI music. I did, a friend of mine showed it to me because he was making samples, like soul music samples out of AI prompts. So to create something that had never been done before and download that and then chop it up and put it in a song. And I was blown away. I mean, it was insane how it's not convincing, but it's so cool. Like all this stuff just ends up in there doing chord progressions, and it sounds musical to an extent. It doesn't sound good, but it sounds musical. Um, Very cool. But BBL Drizzy is probably the best case I've heard so far, so I will ride for that one.
Sure.
Don't sue me,
You know,
Drake, please.
yeah, you guys are gonna have to lawyer up real quick. Um, yeah, you mentioned the kind of production aspect there. What I don't know which song it is. It might be Super 8. Um, but the like I think it's called like jungle style drum beats. Is that right? The real
Oh, like
fast stuff.
the D&B stuff.
Yeah,
Drum
yeah,
and
yeah.
bass, yeah.
I
Let's
guess
see.
that's
Um,
That's either
that's
into
into,
or
right? Or we don't do that in Peace of Mind. No, it's
no,
into.
yeah, Peace of Mind has a weirder, like glitchy breakdown. But yeah, into has jungle drum and bass style drums. Sorry, what was your question?
oh, I was just gonna ask, like, where did that influence come from?
Oh, hell yeah. Uh, we just both like tasteful drum and bass stuff. Um,
Tasteful.
I love it, especially because I drive a lot. I feel like in old video games, Need for Speed and um, Gran Turismo, like, you hear certain styles of this crazy music that was really meant for clubs and stuff, but ended up cycling into video game menus or again for driving stuff. It just has a cool, fast-paced energy, and it's the total antithesis to emo singer-songwriter music, which is exactly what we tried to mesh that with. So we felt like it would be a cool invention, and it's not something that we've really heard much of. Maybe some examples here and there, but nothing sticks out like crazy to me. But we thought it'd be cool, and so that's why you got it.
Nice.
It's pretty
It
much
is.
our story. We thought it'd be cool, so we did it.
It's cool. It's cool.
Cool or maybe
Cool.
funny.
I approve
Certain
at the
things.
very least, whatever
Unreleased
that's
stuff.
worth.
Kind of funny.
Do you guys have also another part of what you were touching on with AI is you have friends who have other creative endeavors. Um, are those friends focused on music? Do they help you with? Because I know your Instagram pages has some, or I'm sorry, your Spotify artist page has some pretty cool photos on there. Um, are those done by you guys? Do you have a group of friends who are supporting this as well, or
Those photos are our mutual friend Jimmy. Shout out Jimmy. We love
shout
Jimmy.
out Jimmy?
Shout out Jimmy. He is the photo guy, photo video guy. I think Jimmy actually he worked on our first music video that me and Lucas made for our solo projects, like as a collab
Mhm.
years ago. Um, we have, yeah. I mean, we definitely both have like separate and merging friend groups that are all creatives, and help out with the whatever we need, photos, videos, etc. Yeah.
I definitely dig the about the artist section on Spotify on opposite sides of the corner.
What does it say?
It says two DIY survivors went rogue.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Well,
I
that.
we
Spotify page and it was there, so I don't
we
know.
no, I thought it was funny. I mean, you heard the story of how we met. At the time that we were both playing in bands, there was a really cool DIY scene. I'm sure there's still a DIY scene going on. I don't know much of it, but at the time it was between Lowell and Boston, and not really a whole lot in between. It was mostly the towns around Boston and some stuff happening in Lowell. So this scene was like there was a ton of bands playing around and doing some touring and writing, and there were some legends of the time, people that everyone knew. But we, um, surely there's a lot of people that were in bands that don't do it anymore. The bands just kind of do their own thing, or maybe they fell off, maybe they quit, they fell apart. But we, with our solo projects, have just been out here alongside some others. But since we're making music together, I thought it would be kind of funny to connect ourselves to that. The place that we met, like the area which we met in, and then a little homage to the scene that we used to be a part of.
And for those who don't know, what is because when I hear DIY here, I think do it yourself, as in
Yeah,
like putting up shelves. Though, what is it? What is
yeah.
it in?
No, DIY was, I mean, it was coined, I don't know where or when it was coined, but we would say DIY shows because essentially you'd show up to play and you're playing in a basement or someone's living room or in their backyard. I mean, my band had played on a rooftop in Philadelphia, just like somebody's roof, not even a venue. So you'd show up and then most of the time have to set up your own equipment or bring your own equipment, or they just point to a corner and there's like one speaker and like an XLR cable and no microphone, and you'd have to figure out a way to make it work. So that's it. Really is do it yourself. That's what it means.
Is the group? Obviously it's two of you right now. Is it open to other collaboration? Are there other projects that you have in mind in the future that expand or maybe are even more solo driven, but still the same kind of relaxed idea?
I I'm cool with just us. Like I
I
could
don't.
see,
I could not see anyone else being a part of this,
yeah, I
but
could see some support on stage, but that's about it.
I don't even know if I could.
Yeah,
Like we
maybe
could
not.
be total.
I mean, we're
We
not even friends, so
definitely. Yeah. Who are what? Yeah. We haven't even gotten to the stage part yet, really. So have to see how that goes. I guess if we want to add more, but I think yeah, it's a duo.
Have you guys ever performed together outside of this project?
we have.
Hmm.
Yep. We've both had shows that we kind of either pulled the other onto the bill or there was an opening and it made sense. Um, and yeah, we since we have some songs together too, we've done some crossover stuff. Chris has come on stage and sang for those songs when I have a show, and then So we've done it. We have,
So we
it
haven't touched
sucks.
the.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
We're
I
not
can
friends.
imagine if you guys, yeah, purely professional relationship.
Yeah.
Um, we haven't touched yet really on your other song, Into, I believe, right? Yeah. Is that also like recorded in a day essentially, or tell me a little bit more about that one?
It was like, oh, what? I'm trying to recall. I'm trying to recall. So many things. Um,
Yeah, it's
that
so
Wait,
one,
casual.
Into wasn't Into our first song?
no, Peace of Mind was the song we did
Oh, okay.
like
Yeah,
last
no.
winter. But then Into we did shortly after. If it wasn't within a single session, it was like I sent you like stems later. Like it was a quick turnaround for
I'm
the
pretty sure it was a single session. Like at least everything, if you heard what we finished at the end of that session, it would sound like the song. I could even
maybe
no, I
yeah.
can't, I don't have my hard drive, but yeah,
Yeah.
no, we really got through
The structure and
everything.
the yeah, the main parts. Yeah.
So when you finish these songs, is it like, okay, this is good, you know, let's put it on Spotify? Are you sending it out to your friends to get second opinion? How's that work?
I don't think we sent either of those for second opinions. I'm not a big second opinion person.
I'm a huge second opinion person, but I don't my friends that I send it to know when I'm looking for feedback. Like if they like the song, they'll say they like it. I We have good enough relationships to where and we know that if you send a song, you don't just send a paragraph back of what you would change. You know, we ask first because it's way more polite. If we're feeling really good about this song and we know it's great, we love it, the last thing we need is someone essentially saying like I don't like this. It's not good for the
The at
brain.
232 is really not hitting in the 4K. Sorry.
Yeah. There's something that just about feedback in general. I mean, I love sending the music out to specific people that I know I can get a reliable and kind of a compass response. Like if they don't like it, I still like the song. It's not like a F you don't like it, I like it. It's more just a read, and I'm hoping that they like it because I know what they like. So if I send it to them, I expect them to like it. And if they don't, I get real shaken up, and then tear,
Steve,
I tear up, and I take it back to the drawing. No, I don't do that.
me when I send you like my solo demos and you're like, are you looking for feedback or just for like a compliment? And then I go shit, 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 shit. It's
No,
not good.
that's just what I say. It's never because I'm about to hit you with the worst feedback you've ever seen. It's just, I find it polite. I want to make sure what are you looking for? All right, I won't say that anymore. I'm just going to hit you with a paragraph.
Don't send it. Like that's why I just don't send it. If I like it, no one will hear it until it's probably like done, done, like actually like done.
Done, done. That's your
Done, done,
process,
done, done.
not friends.
Right.
When you guys come together and you're recording something, um, conceptually, do you have like an idea for outside of just the realm of audio? Do you have an idea for stylistic imagery or music videos and stuff like that?
Well, we both have a bit of a lean towards like 2000s, early 2000s stuff. Like we both like that kind of imagery and the lo-fi stuff, old
That makes
digital
sense.
cameras. So we agree on that, and I feel like whatever we do visual wise, at least for music videos and stuff, or maybe more high quality reels and TikTok videos, we'd probably do it with that style in mind. But pretty much open. I think we're gonna end up doing whatever. The world is an oyster.
Whatever feels right in the moment.
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
you kind of briefly touched on it earlier, but what do you guys consider your genre?
I was also thinking about this question earlier.
Well,
Like,
we had people chime in on Instagram with what genre is this?
there was yeah,
Nice, you did.
I'll let
so
Carissa, I'll let you describe it while I
oh
look
gosh.
for the responses.
Well, it's tough. Well, there's an aspect of like every song has I wouldn't say always Midwest emo, but like emo, maybe overarching like emo-ish guitar. Like so that's in there somewhere. Electronic emo pop. Um, that's
Dance,
dance. Well, yeah, we
electronic.
have some stuff that's like really dancey and like really electronic, or like almost leaning into like hyper pop. So it's tough. But yeah, some people did comment on that specific song.
For the song that we're teasing right now, we have Cruise Control Plop Rock. We have
Broke
oh come
core.
on.
Broke
What?
core. Broke
Broke
core.
Core?
Remember that was one of
Okay.
them.
Where Singer Swingy Jacket Pop. I, Dream Slop is another one. Saw that.
These are good. These are good.
Broke Core but Fire. I don't know why they put but. I thought they just gave us a genre. They like thought of a whole genre for us and then said but it's fire. Don't
But it's
worry.
fine, like whatever it is.
Like it's not bad.
I like broke
Uh,
core, so
Dream Slacker Rock, Soccer Mommy Core.
yeah, we got a
I
lot of
don't know.
mommy core, so I don't know. I like soccer
Yeah,
mommy, but I wasn't quite hearing the overlap, but like maybe I'll have to go deeper into her discography.
yeah, we'll have to figure that out. But I mean, genre. Personally, I think genre is just a crazy conversation to have because the crossover has just gone even further and further. There's so many niches and subgenres and stuff. Even to say like, oh, I like this genre is to say you like billions of songs. It's I don't know. It's hard to quantify, but our genre is coworker music.
Yeah, people who can
Let's
barely stand each other
yeah,
in
let's
a
go with
room
that.
for a long time. I get that. Yeah, I think anytime or most of the time you ask musicians what genre they're in, it's definitely a difficult question. Unless you're
I,
going for like I'm gonna make a punk rock song, I think it's difficult.
It's like
but
the mix
even
we have in the vault too, and it's like what we have posted versus what's in the vault. Like I'm thinking about the vault, not just like the two songs that are out.
come to think of it, I don't think I've ever had a conversation where I've asked someone or they've asked me like what genre of music do you make and it goes smoothly. It's always a like oh what no it's like like this artist and it's a little bit like that but there's some EDM in there.
That's-
Yeah. Like what kind of person are you? It's like answering that question. I don't know. It's just there's so much more to it. There's a big spectrum, so
Good guy.
good guy, yeah. Like, but what does that mean? Are you a good guy to Jeffrey Dahmer, or are you a good guy to the Pope? There's a broad spectrum. Either way, could still be a good guy. Just perspective matters.
Universal good guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Is you mentioned the vault. Tell me a little bit about the vault. What you can, what you can.
The vault is hidden and secretive. It's can't be shared. No, I'm kidding. But like it goes a little dancey for sure. I can say
I'm
that.
pulling it up. I want to see
It's
how many songs we have.
there's like a lot. But the funny part is also I was thinking about this. A lot of our mutual friends think that we like hang out like all the time, and then I'm like we kind of can count how many times we've hung out because it's
Because
like
you can't
No,
stand it.
it's in the
we,
vault. It's like
oh, true.
it's like
You're
every
right.
time we hang out, we make a song or a demo or something. Like 96% of the time we hang out, or we're like at one of our shows. But I was like, damn, we could probably count like 90% of the times we've hung out by like how many songs we have laying around or like demos.
20.
20.
We've hung out 20 times.
20 times. No,
Well, no, 20 counting the stuff
20
that's
in
out,
some
already out.
stage. But like. I thought that was a funny little thing. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
the vault. I
definitely
don't know.
weird.
The vault gets
It's
dancey.
definitely weird. It
The
is
vault,
weird.
like vault gets dancey. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, we have a great array of music, and you can definitely you will hear it eventually once we figure out how to put it out and when to put it out. But we want to put it out.
Yeah,
that's music to my ears, pun intended. Um, gotcha. Uh, touching on a little bit different of a part of the your guys' music journey. How long did it take you guys? And this is probably a question you'd answer separately for your individual projects to start really liking your music and thinking that it was good. You can say immediately. That's
it definitely was not immediately though. Like it was like years. I mean, when like me and Lucas first started working together, I would not have said that I like liked my own music. I've put music up and taken it down millions of times and like whatever. And I still, as much as like there's songs that I like and there's things and I can say like, oh yeah, I do like the music that's up and songs I make. There's other songs where I'm like, I should quit. Like I'll be listening to it and I'm like, I should quit. Like I'm actually I'm like, what is music? What is a music? You know?
You're wild for that. You're
Yeah,
wild for that.
that's how I feel. I don't know. I do like it now, but it's also like there's days where I'm like, not for me.
Pulling from the what I said earlier about being able to sit down and just create the song that you want to hear right now, the song with the song with these types of drums, with these types of vocals, and if you can just make that like to me, I've always at one point loved the songs that I'm putting out because I'm making it in the way I want to. Like the skill level, because I think because I wasn't really comparing myself to anybody else in my immediate vicinity, I didn't know anyone that made music or produced music until I was like 17, 16. Uh, so I didn't really have any comparison. So that for that reason, I was just keeping it all to myself. I would post it for my friends, and they thought it was cool because I was the only one really doing it. Um, so I once I started comparing myself to other people that I met, yeah, as I meet new artists, and this person's like doing really cool stuff, like there was definitely a lot more doubt that was coming into play. But at some point, I really loved the song enough to put it out to share with the world. So I've never thought I'm gonna quit music, just like listening to something I made.
It's
Uh,
not that I put out. I'll say that. It's never the songs I release, but there's definitely times where I make like a demo or like
yeah, just delete it, get rid of it.
I don't know. It's like it's just a thing, or like I'll just have like a bad week where I'm like I feel like I can't hear right, and like everything is
Yeah,
bad, or like the mix, or I'll be like I don't know how to mix. Like what am I doing? But it's not stuff I've released. Like stuff I release, I'm like yeah, this is the shit. But
but yeah, it's creating stuff that we like. So I think
it's the
I
back.
love I love my music, and I've loved it all at one point. Sometimes I go back. I've listened to songs I made in high school that I definitely, at some point I was like, oh, screw that stuff. But I go back and I listen. I'm like, I was into something. That was kind of fun. Like that was cool what I was doing. I was really getting into it. So,
I think the difference between you being a better producer though too, because like I'll listen to the things and I'm like, well, this is just I don't know what I'm doing.
but the technical, like the skill was I was learning it over time. I
Yes,
didn't just start being a good producer. I don't even know if I'm a good producer now.
there you are.
All right.
You're not the womb of a good
Thanks.
producer.
Thanks. Thanks, not friend. But it's uh, there's a lot of yeah, just no comparison. Gotta the comparison's the thief of joy, and making stuff to make it and being happy about it. It's all part of this process called life.
that's great wisdom. It's great wisdom. Um, I don't even know how to follow that
You can't. I said the ultimate sentence.
up. Do you guys have other avenues of art that you pursue, like visual art or photography or anything like that?
Actively, I've drawn, like I like to draw, um, like charcoal drawings and watercolor paintings type stuff, but I don't do it actively, but in the past I have dabbled, I guess, with art in other forms. I guess you could count dance. I was a dancer slash am, I guess. That's definitely a form of art. Forgot about that for a second.
Yeah, you did that.
Yeah, I did that for a long time.
I I collect lamps and keep my car really clean. So that's what I do outside of music.
And that has a big impact on your production style.
The lamp
Uh,
set a vibe, yeah.
Do you
the
sample like
lamps,
lamps and stuff like that?
I don't
You
sample lamps.
sample it.
No, I have got I did try, I didn't follow through, but no, I'm big into interior like decorating and stuff and kind of setting the vibe. And I've done it in studios. Sorry, I realize I'm just like playing with a measuring tape. But I love finding cool objects that, make they just feel good. They look good. You can, whether or not they're useful. I do like useful things too, but if it's just a fun object that something that brings me joy, I like to find a way to get those things. And I've done it with lamps. I have a lot of them around the house. I've got some like hanging, some this is whatever. Got this guy, um, all over the place. And to me, it's just like having these cool little objects that you can interact with, even if it's just turning a switch on and off brings me some happiness, and so do colors. And keeping the car clean is like all my music. I gotta listen to it in the car, so that's like my safe space. I I love it in there.
I look like I live out of my car, so
Not friends. We get it.
right brain, left brain.
Yeah. Which one are you?
Which I don't know. We can get into that next.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you guys coming on and sharing your creative processes, your music, giving a little insight into what the vault has coming. Um, you guys have any closing comments?
You start.
God, stream into and stream peace of mind. That's it.
Yeah, stream those two songs. Do it for me, not for Carissa, but thank you for thanks for having us. Thanks for letting us goof around and taking a chance on a couple strangers.
Absolutely, it's been a great time. I'm sure they can find you at not friends on Spotify, not friends on
Mhm.
Instagram,
At
Yeah.
TikTok.
notfriends.mp3 on Instagram and TikTok.
Okay, gotcha. All
Not
right.
for some
Well,
reason, not friends was taken. So,
someone
oops.
beat you to a mutual dislike,
Yeah,
unfortunately. Yeah. Maybe you can buy it from them one day.
one day.
Thank you so much for watching and listening today. Remember to like, subscribe, and follow to keep up to date with new content as it comes out. I appreciate your support and encourage you to exchange your thoughts in the comments below. As always, keep an open mind.